Guys, walk it on. You gotta walk it on.
Let me see. Okay, just walk.
Move on.
And it's okay.
Goddesses, my Unveiling Naava tribe and world and universe.
You let your wife know she's divorced?
She didn't get that memo.
She didn't get the memo that y'all divorced because 2 years after said divorce, she was still posting up about how they were married and talking about they said we wouldn't make it. According to him, y'all didn't. But you know, like I had to leave. Like I decided. I mean, I don't want to be lied to in any way.
No one does.
And I can't imagine, right, that anybody would want to. So, again, letting go of things that do not serve you. I made a funny video about it. It was hilarious.
We're going to insert it.
I mean, I'm just over here minding my plus size, melanated ass business. Learning how to pussy pop on a handstand. Not talking to anybody, not bothering anybody. And here comes another fuckboy. What am I doing? Missing you? No, it ain't no cap. But to answer your question, what am I doing? I'm just sitting in the middle of my floor with my feet up like a teenager because this is how I envision the reenactment of a story that didn't end well. And it didn't end well. That's why I'm telling y'all. So I meet this guy. Things are going pretty great. We meet in the pandemic and we go on date after date after date. I'm thinking, well, this is kind of cute because most people just want to come over to your house and smash, and I ain't trying to hit it. And he was even telling me, like, oh, you know, my friends, have you talked to your friends about me? Because I talked to my friends about you, and my friends were even saying, surprised that you even went on more than one date. We had conversations about these things. Single, married, kids, no kids. He had kids. I don't have any children. Both of us said we were single, never married. Discussions were had. Questions were asked. What I didn't know was that I needed to be a private investigator and do a whole ass background report. But then, and I know y'all know what I'm talking about, that little voice in your head that says, something ain't right. Something is not right. Not in a way that you're trying to sabotage things, but in a way that you've kind of been through some stuff, so you know what's happening. So I started noticing some issues with him. So the universe be looking out for my little sorry ass. I'm just sitting on Facebook one day. On the people you may know section, his picture pops up. I'm like, oh, I've been looking for you. I go through his profile. First thing on there, married. That bitch. It was never a mention of a wife, period. I'm livid. So it told me that he had full custody of his kids because his ex had some type of disease. And it was just getting too much for her to take care of the children. So he stepped up and became a full-time father. How y'all be lying on y'all children? But that was just another way to explain why he couldn't invite people over to his house. Telling my friends, they're giving me advice. Girl, do you know where he stay? Man, what am I doing? I am not about to drive all the way to this man's house, Demetria. He doesn't even know that I know where he's staying, girl. I got too much to lose. What? Why do I even listen to you?
Girl, something to lose. Don't you still sleep on a blow-up bed and pay for all your clothes with Afterpay? Oh, honey, go up there and run up on his ass.
Damn, bitch. You're not wrong, though. All right. Asshole, let's go. Yeah, I know where he stays. I'm not rolling up on anybody. He didn't tell me what his address is, but pretty much everybody has a digital footprint. This guy told me he had been single for 5 years. And on his Facebook page was a picture of him and his wife about 3 years ago, and her talking about how they had been married since he was 19. He's in his 30s now. Jesus Christ. Here's my thing. This shit is so abusive. How fucking dare you interrupt someone's life, manipulate your narrative so it fits in with what they say that they want. You know you can't live up to it. Y'all have kids. One day, your little girl will come crying to you about some fuck-ass dude who did her the exact same way that you've been doing women for years. That will be your karma.
Got
It was hilarious, and then I just moved on from there and ending business relationships and moving forward. I just think that if something is not working for you, whether it ends, whatever, you have to do what's best for you.
Yeah.
And I'm never gonna compromise my own integrity or who Jasmine Flowers is to work with people who are dishonoring me or treating me badly or treating me poorly, because I don't treat other people like that. I just feel like I require. And I always set rules, boundaries, and limitations, and I believe people should set those for me too. I'm not above any of that.
Right.
But if I can't have that in return, then it's just not worth it for me to go into any type of relationship, business, whatever, business operations, whatever. It doesn't make sense to me.
No, I think we definitely should move past it, but I think in order to properly move past it, we have to really kind of do our due diligence and assessing what we're moving past from, like, you know, really thoroughly looking at our possible part in the situation, like being 100%. Realistic.
Accountability is key.
You have to do that. And then, like, okay, lesson learned parts, like what did I really learn? How can I apply this next time? You know, all of those things, we have to get those like skills and lessons into it, so we make sure we don't continue to put ourselves in those same predicaments. And then, like, we'll talk about later after we give this review on this project, what steps, maybe 1 or 2 steps we can each give that we felt like helped us to possibly move past a situation. But I just really want to ask, maybe we should put a topic down, because I've had the similar experience with a guy, and I just really want to know, like, why do y'all do that? Like, I was talking to a guy too. It's like the same situation. And like, you know, now that like me and Jasmine are in our 30s, okay, so we're in a space like we're ready probably for family life, commitment, like we want to build something, we want something worthwhile to invest in. And you sit here, like you said, okay, at a certain point you ain't just want to just have fun, you definitely want to get certain things out the way so you can properly focus on enjoying each other, and not finding out 6 months later and you deep in all of this. You try to ask those important questions up front, get it out of the way, so we're not wasting each other's time. And then, like, same thing, ask questions. Dudes talking about, I would love twins. I'm like, I'm at the age where if I can just bust them out and get them one and done, I would love.
We're good on that,
right? We're good on that. We talking about like lifestyle compatibility, like how we want to raise kids, if we want to travel. Just because what's important to me, I've learned from being engaged twice, is lifestyle compatibility or complementary is important. Like, y'all lifestyle has to really work together. Yes. You can't be with one person that is just like all about that party life, stay moving, stay out in the street, and then you're more of a homebody. Like, you have to be realistic and real with yourself and what you really like, because it's gonna cause arguments down the line, regardless. Absolutely. So I've learned that. So we did all that talking, like you said, hanging out, and literally his birthday come up. And he was like, I'm going to Vegas. I'm like, cool. So I hit him up like, hey, happy birthday. And it took him a while to respond. Okay, you in Vegas, cool. I'm thinking at some point you're going to reach out to me. 24 hours go by nothing. So I'm hitting him up again, calling, no response. So I'm like, okay, I know you in Vegas, but like your girl, someone you talking to is trying to say happy birthday on the official day while you in Vegas. So eventually we get on the phone. I'm like, hey, I was like, I guess you out there having fun. He was like, yeah. I didn't really like beat him up for not responding, because I know he in Vegas, he having fun. So he was like, yeah, I didn't even have my phone on me. It's just, I just left it at the hotel because I'm like, I'm in Vegas, why I need my phone on me? I'm sorry, that slightly gave me a red flag. I'm just like, okay, that don't even sound right. That don't sound right, but okay. I'm gonna let you hear that. Girl, when I tell you, he got back home, talked to me once, it was hard to get in touch with him. Do you know his best friend posted his wedding pictures? I was just about to say that he literally got married. Not in Vegas though, he got married 2 months later. It was like, yeah, me and my best man, and I'm looking like, wait a minute, that looked like the dude I've been seeing and talking to for about 2 years. Like, we were just cool the first year. My God. We were just cool the first year. But we were picking things back up. I'm at your house, we hanging out, we going to breakfast, we doing all this other stuff. And now, at any point, there's someone else. And all of a sudden, I see pictures coming up I'm like, yeah, I'm at my best man's wedding, and then I look at who the groom is. That's the dude I'm in love with. Like, what the hell? So, what was we doing for the last? What were we doing?
It's so messed up. Like, why are y'all interrupting people's lives in this way? Like, who told y'all that was okay to do? People like I was gobsmacked. Like the British say. Like, I was really kind of like, how did this happen? And like, even blaming myself. Yeah,
me too. Because I'm usually, my woman intuition is so on point. Right. And I felt something, but it was nothing so clear that I could just come to him with.
Because you know what, we talk ourselves out of what we know. Right. Because honestly, I felt something about this guy.
Right.
One, because I was like, it's too good to be true. I was just like, yeah. It was, at one point, he disappeared.
Yeah, that disappearance.
Yes. And he said something, I don't want to give everything away, but like, he said something that my antennas were like, that could have happened, but it also doesn't sound like it would have happened. Right. Like, so then that was my first kind of like, okay. But I'm booked and busy. What I don't have time to do is to be chasing anybody in these streets.
Thoroughly, overly.
No. So that may be something else why I kind of let it go on for a little bit long. Yeah. But when I tell you, because I work in research, I did research him. But because he had a generic name, I couldn't find a lot of information on him. But, and I'm telling y'all, sometimes when you ask, whatever you believe in, if it's God, a creator, the universe, whatever, a lot of times all you have to do is ask for information.
It will be given. I am a witness to it. 100% of the time it works.
Exactly. Yeah. But you also have to be receptive to those gifts that you are given, and you have to do something with it. Because I always ask for things to be revealed to me.
Amen. Me too.
And I was sitting my plus size melanated ass on my couch and literally was in a straight line on my couch and looking at Facebook, and the profile popped up.
Boom.
That's literally how it happened.
That's how it happened to me too.
And I was just like, wow. I immediately said, I've been looking for you. And then I went through the profile and I was like, ma'am, oh, damn. And then of course, you start, how did I miss this? Like, Jazz, did you ask? Right. Yeah, you asked that. Yeah. So what did you miss? Yeah. And then it turns into, I'm gonna be honest, I'm at a point in my life right now where being in a relationship is just not something that I even think I want right now. Like, I have been so just
disappointed.
I've been so disappointed. I felt so abandoned, so looked over, so mistreated in the dating space that I'm rejecting it. Because I'm like, my life is so much better without dating. Because dating causes so many, I don't like the fact that someone can come into my life and try to lie to me and try to disrupt what I have going on. What works for me is me working on my career. Yeah. And everything else works. But letting go of things that don't service you. Yeah. So like, I literally just told myself, we're gonna put a pause on the dating stuff. And the next person who comes into your life has to be amazing for you to even abandon this being by yourself and being single, for you to jump back into this, because this ain't working for you, Jazz. And I've been actively dating for the last 2 years, and they have all been trash. So I do think at some point, when we were talking about like accountability, figuring out what is it in you that is causing this to happen. Yeah. And I just was like, until I figure that out, she ain't dating no more.
So to piggyback, what I just explained happened a few years ago, and I really had to sit down, and what I did, and I would advise, and we're going to kind of wrap this up because, we're starting to dry up a little bit. But what I did, I believe in therapists. I believe in therapy, or, a counselor, a life coach, whatever you got to do. You need someone to like banter with and talk with outside of your homegirls and all of that, okay? So went to her, and she gave me the great idea to write a list. So you write everybody you dated, men and women, whoever you dated, and I mean like dated, not like we hung out 2 or 3 times. Somebody you were really like dating or in a real relationship. You write their name down and you write for each person the pros and cons of each person. When I tell you, you may see some similar traits across the board, baby. Baby. You be like
I'm dating the same person.
Okay. But then, there can be some good things because you will find also if you can do it. She had me to do it from physical traits, emotional traits, all levels of the being, like psychological, mental, physical, all of that. So you can see that there might be a pattern. But then what I found out in doing, I'm going to be transparent because I have it on my blog, Unveiling NAAVA, if y'all want to check me out. I'm very transparent. What I figured out was I was attracting men who were available to an extent because I was only available emotionally to an extent. Deep down inside, I wasn't as 100% ready for a full commitment like I thought I was. So I was literally attracting men who wasn't 100%, like they can sense it on me that I wasn't fully there. But all of them wanted to get married, but they can sense within me that I wasn't there. So when I finally I actually talked to all of them. It ain't been number 3. I finally talked to them and they all said the same, almost like you would think it's a script almost, the same thing about me. And you can be defensive about that, but I was there to get insight. I was there to be real and learn. So when we talked, I was able to share my truth to them about how I felt about them in a relationship, and they showed me. And for them to all say kind of something like, Tafera, I feel like I was more into you than you were into me. And this and this and this and this. And I was like, in my head, I'm thinking, I was so into you. Like, I thought I was like showing you everything. And I realized they went and found somebody that gave them that sense of feeling of being needed and really wanting to be in a relationship. And here I am thinking I'm doing that. And they was like, as much as I wanted to be with you, it was something about you that just didn't give me that feeling. And so it was like, you know what? Maybe that's real. Whether I want to accept it or not, there may be some truth to this. For these 3 different guys at 3 different places in my life to say the same thing, what it boils down to.
There's something to that.
There's something to it. So I really had to look at it, and that's kind of the letting go too. Like letting go, going through it. I had to let go of that drama. I had to do my own reflection and healing and moving past that situation and really feel like, okay, what do I have to do within myself that can work on translating that the next time I start dating someone, so they can really feel, this guy can really feel, because I will say every man that I dated did get married. Like, they wanted a real relationship, but they were doing their side stuff. They didn't really want to let me go. They were trying to have that cake and eat it too, but they did want relationship. They eventually found someone to really be with. It was just I wasn't giving them. So sometimes you gotta look at yourself a little bit.
That's true.
Like,
try to figure out what's the issue that you're attracting the exact same situation or what's going on. It's just not working. So what's the reason? What is the reason? Cardi B. Like, trying to figure out what is the reason, what is the why. I actually had a friend who told me, because I was telling her about like the relationship and also how I keep having these friendships that end like this. Like, I have these really intense relationships with people and they all end on like them doing me like in the dirtiest of ways. So she was just like, there's some correlation between your relationships and your friendships. Like, they all seem to be super electric and then they end in the worst ways. And I was like, I think that there is something to that. And I was also telling my sister how she told me that I should probably go to therapy for other things too. But I had told and this is unrelated to the relationship and the friendships, but I had told her one of the reasons. I was like, I am interested in therapy, but I don't know if I want to go right now. She was like, why? I said, because it might work.
At least you being real. Some people ain't ready for that.
Right. I was like, I think sometimes you got to be honest, like, if you're ready. But then, when like I said, that was unrelated to the relationship and friendship talk. But then when I started really thinking about it even more, I was like, well, maybe I need to really go and see what is going on, because I too am. I definitely support the mental health and wellness space too. So I think we all need therapy to figure out how we can be our best selves, I think.
Yeah, we shouldn't be ashamed of that at this point in life, especially with everything that's going on in the world. Like, we should support people being psychologically, spiritually, mentally healthy.
Right. Agreed.
All right, you guys. So we have chatted up. Please leave us some comments, some suggestions of other topics you would like to hear from us maybe next month. But what we are about to do is wash this bad boy off.
Wait.
Okay, and be beautified. And we're going to give you our review on this Indian clay mask. See you in a bit.
So surprised it does that. So, does your face feel as dry as mine?
Yeah. It feels like it probably sucks some stuff out of it.
Exactly.
It's a little dry, Jasmine. It is.
but all in all, I did like it. Like my skin, I will say, it does feel soft.
Yes.
It's extremely soft.
Yes.
It was. How was it for you taking it off?
It took a while. Like, this is a clay mask, and you guys, I looked at the ingredients. There's no real ingredients because it's literally Indian healing clay, but it has sodium bentonite in it. That's it. That's all it is. So it's definitely like a clay texture, and I guess the sodium bentonite makes it a little more grainier and thicker. So it took a while. You definitely have to use not hot water. Don't scald your face, but you definitely need some warm water.
Yeah. And
I would use like one of these exfoliating sponges or like the mask eraser to kind of help, get it off. Or if you're get in a shower and just let the warm water and then massage it off, it definitely helps. Because,
and I would say take your time and be gentle with your skin.
Yes.
You don't want to cause any problems by getting any abrasions on your face because you're being so aggressive with taking it off. I say just take your time. It will, as it dries, it gets hard. It flakes up. But I would say just take your time and try to get it off. And what you will feel is incredibly smooth skin afterwards.
Yes,
so
it does.
It's got to be doing something.
It's doing something.
Yeah.
And I will say, just looking at your skin, it looks like it kind of sodium. I think the clay sodium, it's like a pH balance restore. So it looks like it kind of mattifies and adjusts the pH balance of your skin.
It definitely mattifies. Yes, absolutely.
In a good way. It's not bad like it looks dry, like you got eczema dry, but it definitely takes away any excess oil or gunk or dirt. It feels like it's been cleansed without using a cleanser.
Yes. And I would say for those of us who do have dry skin already, although this does leave the texture of your skin like smooth, I would say follow up with your moisturizer that you use for my dry skin people. I think for people who with oily skin, you might want to use a moisturizer too, but not one that will put the oil back into your face that you just tried to get out.
Right.
So
Right. So I like it. I'm more familiar with clay masks, and I think you are. This is your first time trying it. So it does have the clay mask type of results when you take it off. But I will say this feels soft, you guys, and it just seems like it kind of. It seems like it's kind of smooth. The appearance seems smoother. Like even your skin seems smoother. Like
already, and this is just one try.
Yeah, it seems smoother too. So maybe it helps with the texture probably more when you use it. Your skin texture-wise can become more smoother too. But I definitely would say follow up. So I'm gonna mist my face with this. This is Naturals Wonders Aloe and Chamomile Lavender. So I'm gonna mist my face with that. That's nice. Give you some too.
Yeah, let me do that. How often would you say people should try a clay mask?
I think it definitely depends on your skin type for sure, but I think 1 to 2 times a week shouldn't hurt. And spread it out. Like say put 2 or 3 days in between it. Monday and Thursday, Tuesday and Saturday, Wednesday and Sunday. Do something like that. It wouldn't hurt. And then you can do a spot treatment. You don't have to necessarily do your face. Like if you have problem areas, just put it on the bumps, put it on the blemishes. If you just oily in the T-zone and you want to kind of get that going, I would just say put it in your T-zone, put it on you could spot it anywhere. I think this would just do really good. So I'm gonna have this link down below for you guys if you want to check this out. This is 16 ounces, so it's basically 1 pound of pure cosmetic grade, you guys. So that's high standard cosmetic grade, pure Indian healing clay with sodium bentonite. So
here you go, guys.
Jasmine, would you want to take some with you in a little small thing?
I sure do. And give me one of these bottles of water too. I would love to take some with me and try it even more to kind of see what it does with my face as I continue to, I guess, incorporate it into my beauty regimen.
Yeah, and so they recommend on the bottle, like you jar with any clay mask, you don't want to use any metal materials. You want to use plastic, silicone, or wood because it messes up the properties of the healing clay. That's what any type of clay mask you use. Always use plastic, silicone, or wood. So that's a recommendation for that. So if we had to give it a grading scale, which I'm using 5 for those who don't know, what would you give
So
it?
what is
So you're taking into consideration the smell, the texture, the first time use of it, and then would you feel like it's like something a must-have type of thing for you, and then just what it did for you?
Well, then based off that, I'm definitely gonna have to give it a 5. One, I'm extremely sensitive to smells, and my allergies are always messed up. And the fact that this does not have a smell, that won me over in the beginning because, like I said, things so close to my nose, and if it lingers on my face, then I know I have to have I'll have my allergies all day or whatever because of a product that I put on my face. It was very hard to start, but I think this is the first time using it, so once you understand that, then of course second time will be easier.
Right.
Still a 5 with that.
Right.
I think the fact that my skin feels so smooth now, I'm gonna give it a 5 on that one. Like, who doesn't want soft textured skin?
Right.
Like, you don't want your skin to be like, all over the place, bumpy and all that stuff. So the fact that it feels so smooth after one application, it's a 5 for me.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think so too. I'm big on fragrance. Definitely as I'm getting older, my skin is getting a little funny with that. So it doesn't even smell earthy. There's nothing there. Yeah. So that's definitely a bonus. This is a lot for your money. I think I forgot to say how much it was, but this actually came with the jar kit. But I think this retails for $12 for 16 ounces, which is a pound.
Oh yeah.
I have the regular Aztec Indian clay. I think I spent maybe $10 on it. It lasts me the whole year because a little goes a long way.
Yeah.
We didn't even use the amount we poured into that jar. Okay?
We really didn't.
So a little goes a long way. So you're getting bang for your buck on top of that. Like she said, it really does soften your skin. If you just want to even help with the texture of your skin, this does it. We have to use it more to see if it's going to help dry out and do other things with it because it says it helps with acne. So we'll have to have some breakouts to really see that. Right. And then I like the texture. It does take a while for you to get the right measurements of to get it to the consistency you want, but I think that just comes with time. That's
I think so too.
On the product itself. So for the first time use to feel small, and it, even though it was dry, it wasn't like I put on some mask and you, even after you take it off, you like
yeah. Like your face feels so pulled back, like you just
it wasn't like that. Even though there's a dryness there, it wasn't to the point where I literally felt like I had to stretch out my jaws and everything.
That bad. Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. So I'm going to give it a 4.5.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So,
it's a pretty good product, y'all.
Yeah, we have to check out this company, Radiant Complex. I saw it on Amazon. I tried to look and see if they have an Instagram. I'm gonna look again, and I will have all of that information linked down below for you guys.
I love it. I think it's dope. I'm so happy that you invited me to try this. I think this is really awesome.
I mean, I might have just put you on with something.
Yeah, I think you did, girl. I think you did. So when I come on with the blog that I write for, I hear that, girl. If you guys see this included in the blog, then you already know I got it from Unveiling NAAVA with Safira.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Friday's First Impression with the amazing
Jasmine Flowers.
All right, you boom booms, you goddesses, my Unveiling NAAVA tribe and world and universe. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. You guys make sure you check out this wonderful, amazing, talented lady. I will have all her information below in the description box. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Everything that she's doing, she has so much in the works. This is not your first time you want to see her.
Okay, I'll be back.
She'll be back. You guys, see you in the next video. We're back. We wanted to give you guys each one tip on how to move on for something that is not working with you. Jasmine, you got the flow.
My tip Trust yourself and get the hell on gone. Like, why? Trust that you made the right decision for yourself. Like, I think so often we second guess ourselves, and that's how we end up in even worse situations.
True.
So trust your instinct. Trust that you know what's best for you. And get the hell on. And don't make excuses for people's bad behavior or your own.
Yeah.
And just move on. That's it.
That's Santana. Let me see you.
Yes.
You better walk it off. You better walk it on.
Let me see you walk.
you walk.
That's it.
My advice is to take accountability. That's how you move on. Taking real accountability. Stop blaming everybody else. Stop putting point. Take real accountability for yourself. Learn your lesson and walk.
Okay. Just walk.
Move on.
And it's okay.
And it's okay.
You'll find a better tribe, better situation, whatever. It will be better when you move on.
Absolutely. That's it. Bye.